Good evening everyone and welcome back to Monosodes, the episodes about Fakemon. And if I had a nickel for every time I had to delay a collab entry because I got sick, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's really annoying that it's happened twice. Anyway, this video is my entry into the Fakemon community collab, renamed from the Fakemon Ultra collab because people finally realized the acronym spelled f***. Carrying on from Duality in 2023, the theme this time around is inversion. What that means is you take a common association or trope and you flip it around. People always say, for example, that skunks stink or that cats hate water, so you'd make a cat that loves water or a skunk that smells nice. But you won't find anything quite so simple here. We don't tend to do anything quite so straightforward. Ironic, since the animal we're using for this video is the humble moth, an animal that has quite a few associations with it already, but this is going to serve as the basis for another inversion. So let's do some history real quick. Menlo Park, New Jersey, 1878. American inventor Thomas Edison, more commonly credited with inventions such as the phonograph and the light bulb, is currently working on improving the telephone at the behest of Western Union, who were aiming to compete with Alexander Graham Bell. In a letter addressed to Western Union's then President, William Wharton, Edison describes the problem with the telephone as being a bug, even joking about it being a fictional insect that lives inside the phone itself. At this point, bug was a fairly common term in computing, but this is one of the earliest examples of it actually being written down. Fast forward to Harvard University, Massachusetts, 1947. Development of the Harvard Mark II computer is well underway when a problem appears in one of the relays. Turns out that problem with the relays was caused by an actual moth being trapped in one of them, humorously recorded as the first case of a literal bug being found in a computer. Combine all that history with the humble remote control, and we get Mothware, the program Pokemon. Control mode. Electric type. Initially thought to be harmful, Mothware's body is able to become electricity and enter machinery. Scientists now use this Pokemon to upgrade their equipment. That's right, the inversion here is that we've taken a normally problematic computer bug and turned it into a beneficial computer bug, or as we like to call it, a feature. Design-wise, it takes inspiration from the Oleander hawk moth and the comet moth, with several of its parts being combined with the technology found in remote controls, namely the TV aerial, the Wi-Fi symbol on the antenna, the circuit board wings, and the eyes even being the power symbol. I have always found the form changes of Rotom to be an interesting concept, but at the same time it is slightly annoying that only half of its forms can be used in battle. So I made Mothware. Mothware can enter similar devices, but the big change is that it can be used in battle whatever form it's in, which in some of these forms could be interesting. But since the concept came from a moth trapped in a computer, I reckon you can figure out what form is first. Mothware, the program Pokemon. Console mode. Electric type. Mothware inhabiting computer terminals greatly improve the computer's processing power and memory. They can share data with any other console Mothware worldwide. As you can see, Mothware's body shifts into a PC, based on the ones found inside Pokemon Centers, with its legs and wings now acting as the main body of the terminal, and its eyes acting as a quite literal facecam. This is by far the biggest and heaviest form of Mothware, which gives it a boost in physical attack. And each other Mothware form is going to have a stat that they're specialized in as well. The special attack boost, on the other hand, belongs to the smallest and lightest form, so let's call on it now. Or rather, call on it now. Mothware, the program Pokemon. Mobile mode. Electric type. Mothware inhabiting a smartphone are able to boost the phone's signal tenfold. Trainers carrying a Mothware phone are said to never go missing. Yes, even the humble mobile phone can be sent into battle. Here the wings are the only details that really stick around, even one of its antennae is absent. The form's inspired, quite obviously, by the Rotom phone, since I decided that each of Mothware's forms should be something the player actually uses, as opposed to a washing machine.
You stink!
And yes, the entire back of this form is a screen. But speaking of water-related machines, the next form could help with finding some. Mothware, the program Pokemon. Dowsing mode. Electric type. A Mothware inhabiting a dowsing machine can sense water and lost items from miles away. Some trainers say Mothware can even see spirits in this form. Yeah, who remembers the dowsing machine? Normally in Pokemon, the dowsing machine appears as two separate rods like this, but this form is based on Generation 5's dowsing machine, which looks like this with a screen in the middle. Although if you have ever seen a device that looks like this, it's more likely to be some kind of EMF reader for ghost hunting. To my knowledge, there aren't a lot of actual dowsing machines that look the way Generation 5's does. Similar to Pokemon's regular dowsing machines, Mothware's antenna can guide you to water or a hidden item, but if you manage to get really unlucky and find a ghost of any kind, you'll probably want to get away pretty quickly. And you can do that on this. Mothware, the program Pokemon. Cycle mode. Electric type. Mothware inhabiting electric bicycles are able to climb steep hills and bunny hop by themselves. Cycle Mothware can adjust its handles and seat to suit the rider. A ride with the abilities of the Muck Bike, Rotom Bike, and Acro Bike, all in one, plus a natural boost in speed. Here Mothware's wings transform into two electrified bike wheels. Honestly, not much is left of the original design in this form. It even gains a new unique white section. But honestly, this came out better than expected. There is a lot of visual information that goes into drawing a simple bike, and information is what this last form specializes in. Mothware, the program Pokemon. Index mode. Electric type. A Mothware inhabiting a Pokédex gains knowledge of all Pokemon in the world at once, and heightened awareness. It knows you're reading this right now. Oh, hello. I guess you're the new face about town, huh?
That's right, sir. Waiting with all the information you could possibly need.
This form of Mothware is based mainly on the Pokédex from Fire Red and Leaf Green, with its flip-up protective cover now having Mothware's wing pattern on the underside. Though where the normal Pokédex is quite small, this form has been stretched out for a widescreen, which is useful around here, I can say that much. So I guess you'll be our go-to Pokédex from now on.
If you will have me, sir, I am happy to help.
Nice. And on that note, that concludes our collab entry. I do hope you enjoyed. And what do you think of Mothware? What's your favourite form? Head down to the comments, let us know, and subscribe while you're down there. It really helps out. I have been Procelion, and we hope to see you again next time on Monosodes. Cycle Mothware can adjust its handles and seat to Cycle Mothware can adjust its handles and seat to suit the reader. Reader. But since the comic, who were aiming to compete with. Anyway, this video is my entry for the fakemon but you won't find them. But you won't. Fast forward to Harvard University, Massachusetts. Fast forward to Harvard University, Massachusetts in 1970. I have always found Rotom's form changes to be an entrenched